welcome. It's fantastic to have you with me sharing another Kruger experience. Thank you for watching my videos. It means the world to me, and I hope you enjoy them and get something out of them. This hyena was a really smelly individual. I obviously had my window open and I really could smell her. She had a very sharp, strong smell. She looks like she was also trying to sense something and pick up the smell of something. I'm not sure if it was food or perhaps another hyena. You can see there's a jackal on the left there and a zebra on the right. Oh, this hyena loping towards others at the top of this little ridge. I wasn't sure if they had meat up here or if they had a den, because there were quite a few adults. The grass was a bit long to see if there were any cubs present. Hyenas greet each other, you can see these two, by smelling each other's genitals. This is a Kori bustard, Africa's largest flying bird. You find with birds of prey the female is larger than the male, but with the Kori bustard the male is a lot larger than the female, heavier. In fact, sometimes they double the weight of the females. They are omnivores, eating insects, lizards, chameleons, snakes, scorpions, rodents, birds' eggs, carrion, leaves, seeds, fruit, and also tree gum. That's where they get the Afrikaans name Hompo from. There was such beautiful light, and this chap really was relaxed. It was a wonderful, wonderful sighting of a Kori bustard. That squeak sound was actually from one of the zebra. They often try and kick each other and, yeah, they're quite aggressive, sometimes bite each other too. These zebra were having to really go down quite low, like a giraffe almost, to get to the water. It was obviously very low. The one at the back there has very different markings to the rest of the herd, And like us, their coats are all different, like our fingerprints, all unique. I'm not sure if you can see the white butterflies that are also very much around at the moment. Harem stallions have exclusive mating rights with 2 to 6 mares, and harems are so stable that mares remain associated for life. The stallion is very protective of his mares and foals, and they live, the stallions, for about 20 years. This is an impala ram moving past the front of the camera. The normal way to become a harem stallion is by abducting fillies in heat, one at a time. So there's a strict hierarchy. The first mare to join the harem and her offspring, they take precedence over the second, and the second takes precedence over the third, etc. So when you see zebras sort of walk in single file, it's the dominant mare that's in front, followed by her offspring, and then the following mares and their offspring, and then the stallion will normally be at the rear, the back of the line. Colts leave their families on their own accord, usually between 2 and 3 years old, and they join a bachelor herd. So they will try and start their own harems at around 5 years old. There's lots of jostling and chasing and messing around. This little guy seemed to have stage fright. The only part of him that was moving was his eyes. These trees with the beautiful yellow leaves on top of the koppies or rocky outcrop are syringa trees. They're either the white syringa or the mountain syringa. But they were so beautiful. I actually became so obsessed with them. I can't tell you how many times I stopped to take pictures of them. Just the contrast, the yellow against the dark sky or the blue sky, was just stunning. And they also have such a beautiful shape as a tree. This giraffe, female giraffe, was once again feeding on a fairly thorny tree. It never ceases to amaze me how they can do that. 2 oxpeckers on her back. It was a lovely angle. She was really close, and so I could get this nice angle, which I enjoyed. These are red-billed oxpeckers on her. She's busy feeding and they're busy grooming. They're cleaning themselves. But oxpeckers will use the fur of their host animals to line their nests with. And they nest in holes in trees, very often leadwood trees. These are 2 young male giraffes, also with oxpeckers on them, chewing away. There's a female again, and just in the background on that hill are my trees. If you're enjoying this video so far, please consider liking and subscribing, and also hitting the bell for notifications, so that as soon as I bring out another video, you will be notified. Thanks. This was such an awesome sighting. When I first saw them, there were 3 of them in the road, but as I got closer, 2 disappeared, and I was filming while I was driving. Blue wildebeest or brindled gnus, they were trying to hug the shade, or get into the shade. Lovely condition. This was a beautiful scene with the Cape buffalo in the foreground, elephants in the background, zebras far right in the back. Elephants enjoy fresh water, so they congregate around the reservoir, and they're lucky because they can reach that water the other animals can't. This buffalo bull drank a bit from this pond and then decided he would try elsewhere. And he moved towards where there was some impala drinking. I think he thought perhaps it tasted better that side. Don't you just love his reflection? Some butterflies here as well. Sharing the water trough with the impalas. These elephants were responding to the impala making the rutting sound. This little young elephant's full of attitude. This impala ram was really limping badly. Young elephant rushing up to the water, have a drink. Thirsty guy. Such an interesting greeting between those elephants, that mom and the youngster, and then that small little herd. Lots of trumpeting and excitement, very interesting. Dr. Joyce Poole and her team have established that elephants actually call each other by name. These names are spoken through rumbles. It's the first time an animal has been discovered creating individual names for each other, and the rumbles can travel up to 2 kilometers across the savannah. So she discovered that they address one another with individually specific name-like calls. Dr. Poole has studied elephants and the way they communicate for almost 50 years now. It was quite interesting because in 2005, her and her team discovered that elephants can imitate the sounds of other species and even machines like trucks. Warthogs wallow in mud to cool down, but also to remove parasites. So they will rub against something and the encrusted ticks will come off. Obviously their rubbing spots are lower than a rhino's rubbing spot, for example. This one rubbing her chin and neck against the stone, loving it. This is these are two sows with their piglets, but you can see where the saying comes from: "As happy as a pig in mud." Lucky this warthog isn't a male. The Afrikaans word for a warthog is a vlakvark, and vlak can mean plain or open. I should think for plain or open ground that they're found on. But vlak can also mean shallow. So I wondered if it's perhaps because they like the shallow water to wallow in. And vark obviously means pig. Herons have to be one of the most patient species out there. They can stand for ages waiting to catch something. I was just very fortunate as I started filming this one, it actually caught the frog. And the poor unfortunate frog. And now you can see how the Birchall's glossy starlings are actually running in hoping for a free meal. They're hoping the heron will drop the frog or let the frog escape and they'll grab it. This was a beautiful sighting of two bateliers and a tawny eagle. Tawny eagles at the top of the dead tree or the dead branch. All three of them preening themselves and cleaning. Lovely sighting. This was quite a large part of lions, I think around 12 or 14, that were close to that big dam on the Alpen Road. This is a young male that's sitting up here. Having a good stretch. And then he started to have a very, very long wee. You can see in the background there's a large male about to plonk himself down. heading off to find deeper shade, I think. I'm going to greet this lion lying down, and then he got into a bit of trouble with his sister for sitting on it. Look at that fat, full tummy. That's another young male. These chaps are going to be kicked out quite soon from the dominant males, I should think. They normally get kicked out in their 3rd year. These lionesses reacted to the others. Some of the rest of the pride are going for a drink at the dam. And lions will drink often if there is water around, but they do get a lot of their moisture requirements from the blood and the meat they eat. This pride only seems to have one large male, and it's obviously harder for a single male lion to defend a territory than it is if there's a coalition of 2 or 3 males. And obviously when the dominant males change over, they kill the cubs that are all under a year old. But in general, lions experience high cub mortality of about up to 50%. This lioness must have felt a lot better after that. They're all starting to head to the dam for a drink. And there goes the big male. Lions only see in black and white, and yeah, they have excellent night vision. So here some of the pride is drinking and then they get chased off by a herd of elephants. And here you can see neither the lions nor the elephants are happy. You can still see some of the lions in the background there. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and if you've got any comments, please leave them in the comment section below, and if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. Thanks so much. See you in the next one.